John Bentley.
What's up, Cowboys family? It's your boy Jay Tuck, post-game show for the Cleveland Browns. Shouts out to my guy Ungar to the max, man. Lannister always pays his debt. So you see I got the Cleveland joints on. I got the Johnny Manziel Brownie shirt on, man. They got me, man. They got me, bro. they got me, man. So yeah, so I got my family on the actual chat, man. We about to dive into it, man. Got the Star Gang in the house. Spooning got my guy Nick's in the house. What's going on, guys?
Man, here we are. That's all I'm going to say for now. We'll get into it. Here we are.
Here we
Here's
are,
what I'm
man.
going to say.
Here we are. Shouts out to everyone in the chat, man. I'm going to go ahead and just jump into it, man. Y'all, we'll get to all the subscribe stuff and all that stuff later.
You got the Cleveland gear on. You got the Cleveland Brown gear on. By all means,
they got me.
Jump on in.
They got me. I'm in the Manziel joints, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I wasn't going to skim out of a bet, man. If I make a bet, then I make a bet. But listen, Cowboys fam, I'm concerned. I am very concerned about this Dallas Cowboys team and where we stand right now. And I know for the past weeks, I've been taking this dynamic offense and putting up 40 points and 400 yards a game for granted. But I'm extremely concerned. The reason why, we've been on Star Gang many a times, late nights, doing this for a long time. And all offseason, I've been saying this coaching staff is going to be different. We're not going to make the same mistakes we used to make when we had Jason Garrett coaching. Those games, those winnable games where we should be winning, I trust Mike McCarthy. We're not going to lose those games. So that's why this morning I said this game was very important for me to see what type of Dallas Cowboys team I'm dealing with. And I got a harsh reality. I got a very harsh reality when I saw this football team. Our defense, I'm sorry to say.
Tender. Defense is tender.
I'm sorry to say. I know, we got the talent. We got Diggs and
No.
We think we have the talent. We don't have the talent. We don't have the talent. We thought we had the talent. We don't have the talent. It's fool's gold. We thought we had the talent. DeMarcus Lawrence and even Tristan Hill was emerging. We heard about Everson Griffin. We were all hyped and did a show for that. We do not have the talent on defense to make a solid run and be a competitive team when it comes to NFL football. I mean, then you add on the mistakes that we're constantly making, just boneheaded mistakes on the defensive side of the ball. We can't stop anyone. So I don't know, Spoon, Nix, how do we fix this? What is there a Band-Aid for this, or this is just what we have to accept for this season?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. If we want to take it in layman's terms, It was our fourth quote unquote preseason game, if you want to really go that route.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think the long and the short of it is no. I mean, be clear. This is the worst. Oh, hold on. I think my head is that say what 1960, right? 60,
right.
right? This is literally through 4 games the worst defense the Dallas Cowboys have ever put on the field. Look, and we'll talk about all the everything else, and I know everyone wants to get on this and that, and the special teams and the offense and the turnovers. All that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
All that's fine. Look, and we'll get to that. But at the end of the day, everybody remembers the Monty Kiffin 1 year, right?
Right.
And it was the worst defense that we ever had.
Right.
Through 4 games, man, this is the worst defense, period, that we've ever had. And I'm going to throw a couple of stats real quick, guys. I don't care what's going on. I'm going to run this down. Anybody know who number 30, the Ernest Johnson is? Anybody? Raise your hand if you know where he played college ball at. Anything. Does anybody know who is he on your fantasy football team, ladies and gentlemen?
I wish he was, because I'm desperate.
Yeah, I mean, 13 carries, 95 yards, 7.3.
Right.
Kareem Hunt. Now, we knew Kareem Hunt might have played, might have not played.
Right.
He ended up playing. Obviously, Chubb went down. Now, before Chubb went down early on, he had 6 carries for 43 at 7.2 a clip.
Right.
But Kareem Hunt, 11 for 71, 6.5 a clip, and 2 touchdowns.
Right.
But I'm not done. I mean, let's not stop there.
Right.
Because you had a wide receiver, ladies and gentlemen, 2 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown, 36.5.
Right. And that's just the carries.
Bruh, 36.5 per carry.
Right.
1 for 23 and 1 that iced the game, obviously, as we came back. So, I mean, I don't care what you're doing amongst everything else. Meanwhile, your 3rd round pick, defensive tackle Neville Gallimore, was inactive today.
Right.
If you give it this kind of rushing, I don't care what you're doing. Right. You're not going to win.
Right. Spoon, floor is yours.
Prayer. I mean, it's as a sums up as a prayer. Hey, listen. I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to blame management for the way these defense is. End of the day, you know, I know they had a rush. Some of the players, you know, they didn't have the off season like a normal season. You know, a normal off season like we had in the past due to the COVID situation like that. But
right.
My thing is that you have you don't want to get better.
Right.
There's a lot of moves they can make for correcting the mistakes that we see constantly for the first 4 weeks over and over and over and over.
Right.
Sometimes you can make a move here and there just to make some changes. So you got to show these guys some accountability. You got to cut somebody. When somebody's making a mistake like Tristan Thompson, Thompson, the safety,
yeah,
you go at, you cut him, you got to send that message. Every week, you're massaging shoulders like everything will be all right.
Right.
And it's getting worse and worse and worse. Today's game, we seen Donovan Wilson. He stepped right in and played some safety.
Right.
Solid.
Right.
You know, he made some mistakes as well, of course. You know, his
right.
first game. First full
much
game.
Much better than Thompson, though.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, much better than
the
Thompson,
effort was there.
But you know. It's those things. So I blame management and I blame the coaches. You gotta show some type of accountability and listen. You gotta tell these players, listen, if you're not playing Sundays the right way, you're off this team. That's something Jimmy Johnson would have did back in the days. There was a time where when the defense didn't play so well. And they're on the plane ride going back home, and there was dinner being served. No dinner served for y'all.
Right.
I ain't played good. Y'all don't deserve no dinner.
Right.
Bread and water.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Crackers and water. That you got to toughen them up.
Right. And my biggest frustration, and we're going to dive deeper into this game, man, but my biggest frustration out the gate, we saw Tyron Smith was coming back to play. But when I saw Terrence Steele was still going to be starting right tackle, when we all know this kid, and I never met the guy, I never heard him speak. I'm sure he's probably a great kid. He is not capable of playing right tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. And he's damn sure not capable of playing right tackle against Myles Garrett. So why would you set that kid up for failure and have so many one-on-one opportunities? That was a free lunch. Why not make the adjustment for Brandon Knight out the gate? Why does it take the Dallas Cowboys to get punched in the mouth before we actually decide to make a decision? You guys can see it. I can see it. Twitter can see it. Everybody can see it that this guy is constantly getting his butt whipped on film nonstop. So why not? There wasn't a tight end over there. You didn't put Blake Bell over there. Nothing. You left this kid one-on-one with Myles Garrett, and straight out the gate, Garrett had that impact and the strip fumble that can change the dynamic of a game. So why do you even let it get that far out the gate? And that's just one of my small things, but this is so much more with this coaching staff that really is starting to wear me down. Because like I said, going from Jason Garrett to Mike McCarthy, I was super enthusiastic. I thought we are going to bring more of a lunch pill mentality. We're going to limit mistakes, hold players accountability. No, we just got Jason Garrett, who's a little bit heavier on the in the waist. That's it. There's nothing that's really changed. The same problems that carried over from last season, they still remain today. Whether it's special teams, whether it's defense, I feel like our defense is actually taking a step backwards. And so I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Knicks, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, I like this from Renee Mata. Trade Dak Prescott, a new quarterback. He didn't throw right. He got Cleveland 3-1, Dallas 1-3. I'm like, bro, get out of here. Explain yourself on that. But I mean, here's the thing: as you break it down, as it comes to that, there's things that you like and there's things that you hate through the first 4 weeks, right? I mean, let's be clear. I mean, obviously, some of the schemes or whatever, you talk about Jason Garrett, it's like a fatter Jason Garrett, as you said.
Right.
Well, I mean, there is one guy kind of calling the plays, right? That's a holdover from Garrett's era.
Right.
Now, we don't know the in-betweens as far as how much McCarthy has say in that, and they kept him. Was McCarthy sandbagging, had to keep him to get the job or whatever that entails. But on the same token, as far as the offensive side, as we're talking here, the play calling is McCarthy is an offensive guy, right?
Right.
Is will be cooking offensively, and then magically with this makeshift offense. I mean, obviously Looney went down in the first quarter early. First play?
First play, right?
First play, and we have a makeshift offensive line. And somehow we feel we need to all of a sudden, as we're rolling, to start calling these dadgum screen passes with a makeshift offensive line.
Right.
And that's asinine. Like, you're trying to find a way to give Zeke the ball without running him because the offensive line is bad. But on the same token, the offensive line that's bad running the ball is still going to be bad in these screens and in space.
Right.
So that's the kind of things that I look at. And then, back in, I'm going to piggyback as you asked the question off of Jason Garrett. Situationally, you ran all the way back into this game, right? And got within 3 points. And you did a squibby.
I was going to get to that point.
Kick,
that was the dumb. Even the Philly fans in the chat are saying that was the dumbest decision of the game. And I was talking to Spoon about this off camera. Why would you do that? Why not kick it downfield?
Let me double down on that even, because you had the 2-minute warning and a timeout.
Right, 2-minute warning and a timeout.
You get plenty of time. If you get a 3 and out, you get plenty of time left with the ball, right?
Plus field position with CeeDee Lamb returning.
Right. And you never, here's the thing for me, I don't think that the Browns will ever call, they're not going to take a risk if they're backed up.
Right.
They're never going to call this reverse over here to Odell on their own 25,
right,
as they will close to midfield, and so you made the choice to kind of squib this thing and line up. Everybody knew you wasn't going to onside kick it. You don't have to.
Right.
You try to fake them out. You squib it. You give them great field position. They're like, okay, look, guys, because in all of my chats, I was like, as soon as they had good field position, I say, hey, look, watch out for the play action right here.
Right.
This is where because you're in midfield, you can take a chance.
Right.
I was wrong on the play, but I was right about them being aggressive.
Right.
And they decided, hey, look, they dialed something up. Hey, Odell got a 23-yard carry earlier.
Right.
Let's dial that up again here at midfield to take a chance to close this thing out.
Right.
And we got bit situational football that we always kind of complained about. Garrett kind of came back in this game a little bit.
Right. Spoon?
Oh, well, listen, I'll say it is when it all boils down to the offense. I know I don't like them screen passes. If it is called, I want to see Tony Pollard getting more involved. Today we see a little bit of that. We saw one elusive play where he lost about like 5 yards, but gained about 10 for a first down.
Right.
He's more elusive than Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott is not playing good football these past 4 weeks. But at the end of the day, like I said, I don't have a real problem with the offense. Remember, Kellen Moore last year didn't call the plays all year long. We went 3-0. right? Then after that, it was the fourth game against the Saints. All of a sudden, we saw the same type of play that Garrett was calling. It was a lot of soap operas going on between the coaching staff and the play calling. So, this is pretty much Kellen Moore's first full year
Right.
calling the plays. Listen, they're not that bad. It's a lot of questionable calls,
Mhm.
but my issue is still the defense. We are shocked. The offense got to score points. Dak got to throw it a lot. They
Right.
have to go for on fourth down every time because you cannot trust the defense, and
Right.
that's just it for me right there. I have no issues with the offense.
Right. And I'll say this. As far as the play calling is concerned with Kellen Moore, that's the least of my concerns right now.
Right.
Like, offense is fine as what it is. I was just questioning personnel starting off with the right tackle at Terrence Steele versus just moving Brandon Knight. We all knew that move was going to happen. So why not even start off the game with it?
Well, but I will say this. I think from their standpoint, it was, hey, look, we're not sure how long Tyron can go, and we need to have Knight to go left tackle if it happens. Now, I'm not saying that you can't start him at right tackle if something happens to Tyron and then do the move.
Right.
I'm not saying that you can't, but I think that their mindset was, hey, look, we're going with Tyron. We don't know how long Smith can go, so we're going to sit on Knight in case something happens, and we're ready to rock.
Right.
I think that was kind of their
That makes
mindset.
sense.
I'm not saying that it was the right mindset, but here's the thing. At least I could connect the dots and understand why they made that decision outside of, say, as we talked about the squib kick a few minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, let's hop in the chat, man. The chat's on fire, man. Rightfully so. So much is going on. Like I said, shouts out to my guy Unger to the max. Yeah, I got the Cleveland gear on, bro. Yeah. So can the Cowboys be any worse? Yeah, I would say they could because offense can start to stall out, and then it really can go downhill from there. The defense is horrible, bro. Mr. Personality Eagles in the chat. Mike Nolan isn't it? What do you guys think about Mike Nolan? Is this just not going to work out, or do we want to wait to make sure he gets his personnel and his type of players in there? But as of right now, it looks like I don't know. I don't even know what I'm watching when I'm watching this defense. To be honest with you.
Well, look, obviously he's making the calls, right? But at a certain point, players have to make plays. Let's just call it. Let's keep it a buck. Let's be honest. Jalen has not been that good.
Right.
I'm sorry. It just is what it is. Missed tackles, boneheaded plays.
Right.
Now we can talk about whether he's playing out of position because he's playing with a linebacker right now.
Right.
And instead of being on the outside or whatever, that's fine. But outside of that, Jalen has to be better than what he's been so far for us.
Yep.
We've talked about extensively on other shows, me, you, Spoonie, right? We've talked about that Jordan Lewis isn't a slot corner. He is an outside corner, but it's predicated on size, so they keep him in the slot. Didn't get his abused as much today as he's had in previous weeks, but still in a couple of key moments, he got bit. I think for me, from the coaching standpoint, that concerns me is two things when it comes to Nolan. He is a linebacker guru. How is a backup linebacker who's being forced to play right in Jones looking better than Jalen Smith?
Right.
That's one. Two, why is it that we'll talk about the Odell catch on for the touchdown and Worley is looking in the backfield and biting on play action? That's not your job.
Right.
Your job is the guy in front of you.
Right.
Why is it that play action or misdirection, especially on the backside defensive ends, are always crashing? If those guys, and I don't care if it's D-Law, Everson Griffin, Dorrance Armstrong, I don't care who the back end defensive ends on some of these plays are, every single one of them are crashing.
Right.
Which tells me they're being coached to crash.
Right.
And people, obviously, 4 weeks in have seen this and have found ways to take advantage of it, and no one is yet to adjust. And Mike McCarthy, as a CEO coach, has yet to address it either.
Right. Spoon?
Oh, listen, I think what they need to do going forward is start putting the defense for the players that are playing good, which is Alden Smith, who is ashamed that, he's the only one. He's the best player on the defense right now. And he was removed for 5 years.
Some credit tonight, though, Spoon. I would say give D-Law some credit.
Yeah,
he played pretty daggum good.
Give what credit? Give what credit? I'm not giving D-Law no credit. For what?
For
what?
One tackle?
You $100 million? No. You $100 million.
No. I understand, Spoon. No. I understand what you're saying, and I've been the proponent of. And me and you had this conversation about $100 million guy, and I told you he's not a $100 million guy. But again, I'm gonna give him a smidge of credit of It's the best I've seen in the past couple of weeks. Maybe
No,
the knees getting
it should
better.
be, if anything, it should be a shame because why is it a guy like Alden Smith has been in 5 years?
Right.
In 5 years, is looking like the best
Same
play
thing.
out there every
Right,
week.
of
No,
course.
listen, hold on. Every week, if you want to answer the fans on Twitter about don't worry about if you're gonna get it in the third quarter, you get one stop, you're celebrating with your move.
Right.
We're down,
Right.
and you're part of the reason because of that.
Right.
So what I'm saying is this: if anything, they need to put the defense around the better players like Alden Smith. If you want to do more 3-4 defense, Everson Griffin, excuse me, D-Law, excuse me, we're gonna build around these guys here who's doing their job.
Right.
I can't wait for Randy Gregory to come back because at least when he comes back, you could do a 3-4 where you're gonna have Alden on one side and Gregory on the other side.
Right.
With D, listen, with so much time.
But if you're a smart defensive coordinator, what your personnel says, because they told us schemeless defense, what your personnel tells you is stop playing the 3-4.
Well,
It's not rocket science.
I mean, here's the thing, though. When we was doing some of the 3-4, what do we see? Alden Smith get busy, right? So now we're gonna cater back to the 4-3. But that was a complaint. This is what the highest paid players on a defense and D-Law wanted, right? And don't get me wrong, I like D-Law. I'm not against him. But at the end of the day, this is supposed to be this is supposed to be your defense, your team, your defense.
I agree, Spoon.
Not these guys coming in here and
Sure.
come on. If you have a bad knee, sit down. I always say this: if a guy is injured, not hurt, injured, and you can't play, you got to sit down because all you're doing is making it harder for everybody else.
Right.
Bite the bullet and sit down if you're not 100% healthy.
Right.
That's the main thing. I mean, we are getting trashed out there. More embarrassing when Nick Chubb go down. That was the talk about this whole week about the running game. We know Odell, we know Jarvis, but here's the running game. We're talking about Nick Chubb and oh my God, what's his name? The other running back,
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. I got my fans.
Kareem Hunt.
So those two. You got Kareem Hunt who's hurt with the groin injury. He barely played until Chubb went down. You mean to tell me a third string running back coming here and we making him look like he's something? All I saw was guys signing this man on fantasy football left and right.
Right.
We made this guy look like a champ out there.
Right.
It's embarrassing. It's totally embarrassing. So when it comes to a guy like D-Lo who's getting paid, and here's another thing. We know we just don't LV, but Jalen Smith, BJ hit on the head. Wow, where have you gone?
Right.
It's like once these guys got paid, it's like
that's what
now I
I
understand
saying.
why Belichick don't pay nobody.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Y'all remember when we said, man, Jalen took a discount.
Yeah. Took a discount, and all off season he was just showing out at camp, and he was taking a step forward. That was one of my guys to take a leap forward. Yeah, now look at us. Earl Thomas, which we'll get in. At this point, they need to call Claiborne and strongly consider Earl Thomas or maybe a different safety. Absolutely unacceptable. And here's the thing. Dak Prescott, I think, just helped that situation, or not, actually hurt that situation, because I felt like this reminded me, I think it was like that Titans game when we got blown out a few years ago, and then we ended up making the trade for Amari Cooper. And so this wasn't really enough of an embarrassment to the Dallas Cowboys team to actually finally go make that move because we cleared that gap. But I felt like, I don't know, how many more weeks can Mike McCarthy and the staff sit back and say, oh, we're fine. We got the talent that we need. When we all can clearly see it, other NFL teams see it. Every time I do a show with someone, other fan, they say, you're secondary. So when are we going to address that need?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Probably the biggest thing that's going to work against that argument of adding people in here is the team that leads the division has one win. And we have one win. They have one in the division and we don't.
Right.
So there's not really that angst, if you will, because you look at our division's trash. If we can sweep the division right, then, I mean, you're going to end up in the playoffs probably. Now, we play the Giants next week, right? Am I mistaken there, right?
Giants,
so now, if the Giants, who have been putrid on offense thus far, comes out and puts up maybe 30 points, and maybe we barely win, or maybe we take a L, then maybe the panic button by this front office and this coaching staff will get pressed, and maybe they'll add somebody in here. Obviously, it should get better with Cheeto and Brown coming back. We know help's on the way with Randy Gregory. We're going to see where he is.
This is his last game out, right?
But Yes, I do believe so.
Okay.
But on the same token, I just look at certain things like, okay, you finally look. If you've been a long time listener of the Stargame cast, since we took Donovan Wilson last preseason,
Right.
me, Spoon, and Mary Ella have been preaching to see Donovan Wilson. So finally, after Thompson gets beat on the first touchdown, they played Donovan Wilson.
Right.
Did he make some mistakes? He did.
Right.
Did we get beat over the top again? No, we did not.
Right.
Two, did you see him lay some wood here and there? Did you see a play action rollout and you see him not bite and sit back and make, Baker make a bad throw? You
Right.
saw better play in basically 3/4 from Donovan Wilson than you have seen from either of the safeties, in my opinion,
Right.
this entire year. It shouldn't have took all that to get him there. Shout out to them, they finally made the move.
Right.
But it took something finally for them to break. And I think as you're talking about bringing somebody in here or trying to change things up majorly, I don't think this game is going to do it for them. I think the Giants, depending on what happens with the Giants, maybe that's the breaking point, and then maybe they do something a la Cooper. I also hit on this. I think personally, as we've been talking about safety, how bad it is, and we saw them even make the switch today, watch the trade deadline. Just because we're in the thing, these guys that they want are still available for the most part. The Eric Reeds, the Earl Thomases, whatever. Now let's see what the Falcons end up doing if they fire their coach. Maybe you go get a Neal. Maybe they're going to be a seller. You can go get something there. Maybe look at these teams that might start moving on. They're just out of it, and you can move and go do that. And I think the Cowboys front office, to a certain extent, is monitoring free agency, but I think they're waiting for that trade deadline to maybe, as you kind of alluded to, going to get a Cooper. They're kind of looking and seeing if there's somebody that's going to become available all of a sudden they can go get before they make a move in the free agency market. As far as safety goes, linebacker and other things we could talk about, and obviously Gallimore being your third round pick and not being active today is puzzling and head scratching as well.
Spoon, what do you think, man?
Yeah, no, I like what BJ King was said about as far as holding out until possibly the trade deadline. That makes a lot of sense. The trade deadline is October 29th. So a couple of weeks away. But as you look at the roster, you have the Giants next week. You got the Cardinals. So the next two games at home. After that, you got the Redskins, and you got the Eagles. So basically, you got three. The Cardinals used to be in the NFC East. So you got pretty much 3 out of the 4 NFC East games. So you could be a 4-3 or 4-4 by that time October ends. So in my opinion, I feel that we're gonna win the division. I really do. I think we're the most. We're just a better team in that division.
Maybe offensively, yeah.
Offensively, yeah. We can, right now, again, you look at the Giants, look at the Redskins, look at the Eagles. They're pretty much struggling on both sides. We just struggling on one side of the ball. And end of the day, like I said, the offense will keep getting better. I feel like this offense can compete with anybody and score a lot of points.
Right.
It's just the defense not doing its job. And hopefully, when management goes into 105.3 or another radio show, and the questions are being asked about getting better, they have to stop with the poem, stop with the we see things, we're getting progress, because at the end of the day, Cowboy Nation, we're not there live,
right,
but we're watching the game,
right,
and we see what's going on. And like BJ said right there, Neville Gallimore, he should be on the field right now. I don't know why he's not. He should be on the field, because right now, between Poe's not doing that.
Right. Poe's a wash, man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's a wash. And that's the listen, I'll applaud
and here's the thing,
Jones.
Why get I'm gonna say though, if you're gonna get Poe and you're having a problem running the ball, stick him in a 4-man front and then just plug. Like it's checkers, not chess. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's been kind of crazy over there. Let me ask y'all this real quick. Let me throw this stat at y'all real quick. Did y'all see what Dak did today? For the by the way, he set a league record today. I don't know if y'all knew this or not.
Right.
He has thrown for more yards in a 3-game stretch. He broke a record of a certain particular guy. More yards in a 3-game stretch than a lot of people would consider the GOAT, Tom Brady today.
Right.
And we're 1-2 in a lucky 1-2 with a watermelon kick.
Right.
I don't really know what more they can do from him, but on top of how bad the defenses been today, at one point that we were giving up 9.5, 10 yards per carry. until they kind of try to take the air of the ball and sit on it. I mean, again, Dak has done his part, in my opinion. So, but I just want to throw that out there. I don't know if y'all knew if
Dak
done that or not.
Dak has done everything and more. I think we could ask from him from this season thus far, especially dealing with the circumstances we put him in. Shouts out to my guys, Bluff City. He says Knicks he can't even plug. He gets killed. I think he's talking about Poe. Yeah, man. I think Poe's a wash, man. When we let different opportunities walk away. So offense has been putting our bad defense in horrible spots early on, so that doesn't help. Yeah, I agree with that, especially with the turnovers, man. Turnovers nonstop. 300 yards
So was Zeke fumbling the ball? A case of the fumbles all of a sudden.
Yeah. One of the sure-handed guys, Ezekiel Elliott, and it's just like
Never had an issue.
Here's the thing: when Zeke broke from that run, I was expecting a fumble. Now that's different from me because I was just like, I'm not sure if he's getting too loose with the ball, or maybe I feel like he's not getting the opportunities that he's accustomed to. So once he gets it, he's trying to play hero ball and do too much, but he's not focusing on ball security, and he's getting stripped away. 300 yards is ridiculous. We took a huge step back with his defense, a massive. So why do you think it is that we took a huge step back from last year, though? I mean, because we weren't. I mean, even though defense was not up to what we want as Cowboys fans, I feel like right now, man, we went from middle of the road to pretty much last in the NFL.
Yeah, I just think it's scheme. At the end of the day,
right?
Like these players were drafted to play in Rob Manelli's scheme, right? Let's keep it a buck. And they're coming in here and saying the best guys are going to play, and it's a schemeless defense, and we're going to be multiple, and things of that ilk. Yet we're not really putting the guys in the best position to play as far as I'm concerned. I think at the end of the day, if I'm lining up my base defense, even if I'm in nickel, okay, and I'm not, he'll probably jump back in. That's what he does.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, but even if we're in a nickel, I'm still going to 4 down lineman set. Look, give me whatever you want on the ends. D-Law, Alden Smith, Everson Griffin, Alden Smith, D-Law, however you want to do the ends and rotate that, right? And then I'm plugging with Tristan Hill, which, by the way, Tristan Hill, he can't do it all in the middle.
Right.
But if you go back, I'm telling you now, if you watch the All 22, you're going to see Tristan Hill pop a ton.
Yeah.
But he's doing his job. The guy next team has to.
Right.
Woods got a little washed up a little bit today from what I saw. I'll see the All 22 and see. We already know what Poe is.
Right.
But when you're kind of doing this 3 guys with the hand, 1 guy standing up, kind of this, that, and slant. Man, look, play your gaps.
Right.
Give me a one. Look, go ahead and stick our guy to one technique in Poe and let him eat the center and guard.
Right.
Because he's big enough to do that. He can't get up the field. We already know that.
Right.
So let him just eat that. Let's get Tristan Hill on them one-on-ones and make them choose which end they want to do. It's kind of simple. Again, I call this, they're trying to make it chess out of checkers.
Right.
Deal with what you got to go from there. I know the secondary is hurting because Cheeto and Brown are out. But you know what? Here's what you do. And
how much longer are they out?
Understand, right?
Do we know how much longer?
I think Cheeto's got one more week. I think Cheeto's got one more week. I think Brown is 1 or 2.
Okay.
But here's the thing. What we knew about Nolan going into the preseason, one of our super long 6-hour joints that we did one night that we talked about was, man, Nolan, he likes to blitz about 40% of the time. Oh, we're signing these big defensive backs to go press. And, hey, we're blitzing and pressing so you can't do nothing. Somebody in 4 weeks, have we seen any of that yet?
None
or does
of
it
it.
look like
none of it?
Okay. Maybe I'm crazy here.
Yeah. I mean, cause that's what I thought. We were gonna get big physical corners. We were gonna play up at the line and press and jam, and it's possibly putting Robinson or Cheeto back at safety so we can have some speed over the top. None of that. Like, I sometimes when I'm watching the game, I try not to analyze when I'm watching like the game on Sundays. But like you said, Nick, sometimes I say
you want to be a fan still.
Right, you want to be a fan, and I'm just like, but damn, are we in a 3-4 or 4-3? Like, what are we doing? It's like a half a nickel. I'm like, we're getting way too cute, and I feel like not just on the defensive side of the ball, special teams too as well, and sometimes in offense, we're getting way too cute. We're overcomplicating things. And I know as Cowboys fans, we're not supposed to say that coming from the Jason Garrett era, but damn, man, like, just simplify things. When I came out and saw, okay, there's DeMarcus Lawrence, he has his hand down. Everson Griffin has, okay, we're in a 4-3. Okay, cool. Now everyone do your assignment. Let's play some football. But then after that, it got way too cute. Now D-Law standing up a little bit on 3rd down. He's dropping back. it's just too much going on, and I feel like the defense specifically, they're not using or maximizing some of these players in their best position. Like you mentioned about Jordan Lewis playing the wrong corner position, different things like that. It's just not in sync, and I don't know. I thought maybe mid-season we would start to see this thing kind of shape out a little bit, but the first 4 games I've seen nothing from the defensive standpoint to be like, okay, well, I saw some improvement. Hey, okay, it looks like Jalen Smith is starting to settle in a little bit. Okay, Thompson, he's starting to get a little. I've seen nothing. It's been Tristan Hill, Alden Smith, and Thomas. That's pretty much it.
That's why I said earlier about they need to put the defense around what the better players can do that definitely can help us out. Jalen Smith is not playing the right spot.
Right.
It's not his spot. Joe Thomas, he's feeling maybe solid for LVE. Jordan Lewis is not a slot corner; he's an outside corner.
Right.
It's a lot of different things that, and they know this. They know this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
I mean, do they Spoon? Do they know it though?
Yeah,
I mean, you're 4 games in. Do they know it?
They know it.
Then why they keep? Okay, so you think they're just putting them out there because they don't? Because
here's the thing.
We know you're not that good, but let's go.
No, here's the thing. We all on Twitter. We all see the comments from everybody. We all converse with one another about the same situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do we all say once the management get on that radio show and start singing? They say we're gonna get better here, believe in the process, X, Y, and Z, and what happens? It's the same thing over and over. They know this. There's a reason why we say that Jordan Lewis can't play slot. He don't play good in slot, but we see him playing the outside. What happens? You see turnovers, you see stop it. And that was a long time ago when he was a rookie with Cheetah on the other side. We've seen these things. We know Jalen Smith is not a good middle linebacker. He's a good outside linebacker, right? But guess what? You put him in the middle. Why? Because LVE is out.
Right.
Here's the thing. If you want to not get better, like say, not trying to pick up Satan Earl Thomas, but if you feel like you want to build in what you got within, like Jerry Jones says, then here's the thing. Then why don't you trust Jalen Smith to play his position where he does better, and let the young guys in that position try to get better until LVE comes back?
Right.
That's my thing.
Let me throw this out there because somebody asked in the chat over here about sacks. Here's who had sacks today. Trevon Diggs had a sack because he flew up as Baker got out and forced him out. One other guy had a sack today. Kind of the same situation. Donovan Wilson.
Yes.
Real quick, guys. Do you know who led the team in tackles today?
Donovan Wilson.
Yep. 6 tackles, 4 assists, and a sack.
So let me ask you guys,
what took you so long to get him on the field?
And that's what's going to ask you guys. How is it that us, the fans sitting at home, can see this about Donovan Wilson, and even we go back to Cedric Wilson, last year? How is it that the team cannot see it? How can we see Connor Williams getting abused at guard and they not be concerned, but we're concerned? Like, I just don't understand. We knew what was going to happen with Terrence Steele. You guys are watching the same film that we have. You got even more in-depth film. And so why does not the Cowboys organization see what we see? It's clear as day. It's really clear.
I think it's a couple things. I think sometimes you're too close to the ball and not far enough away to see it. I do think that happens.
Right.
I think, too, there's organizations, if you make a pick on a guy, I mean, where was Connor Williams picked at? What round?
Second.
Y'all remember? Second round pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no. He's good. He's good. We're not going to put McGovern, who's a 3rd round pick, because we spent 2nd round equity on him, so he's going to play. And then the third thing's going to come to the check. Look, Jalen Smith's going to play. He has no pressure. No one's going to replace him. He's signed an extension, clear eye view, the whole 9.
Right.
So it's money to a certain extent. It's sometimes too close to the ball, if you will, if you want to use that analogy. And then at times you just want to make sure that what you decided to pick and do or sign works. And it's kind of a culmination of some of those things. That's why you see the coaches that win the most or are the most successful kind of are different in that lane. Mm-hmm. Look, whether we're talking about the hoodie up there, look, Chandler, and look, he got rid of Chandler, right?
Right.
Chandler literally in the past 4 or 5 years is top 3 in sacks.
Right.
Think the hoodie cares? Hoodie's been to Super Bowls. What has Arizona done?
Right.
right?
Right.
Sean McVay is cut from that cloth a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care who's getting the ball or this guy or that. I got a Brandon Cooks. I'll get rid of a Brandon Cooks, whatever.
Right.
They don't really care or
You're not
subscribe to
tied to
those
him.
things. Hey, look, we paid Todd Gurley. Well, Todd Gurley's not really working for us. So you know what? I'm gonna move him up out the way and go do the next thing.
Right.
And you see teams a lot of times will hold on to a player too long, try to force a cylinder into a square, and that peg doesn't fit.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's why a lot of these teams are behind the eight ball, and other teams that you see successfully winning don't subscribe to that thought process.
Yeah, that's a good thing you mentioned because I remember clear as day last year when we got Robert Quinn, and one of the reporters asked DeMarcus Lawrence, "Are you worried about Robert Quinn replacing you or taking your snaps away?" And he said, "No, I make too much money." That was literally DeMarcus Lawrence's response. "I make too much money. I'm not worried." And so it's just, yeah, man. And like I said, I've been wanting the Dallas Cowboys to be ran like a football organization, man. But there has to be a lot of things to change. Like I said, I've been pounding the table all week. Special teams, special teams, special teams. And decisions on special teams, once again, comes up to be a huge question mark, as far as this game is concerned. Because like I said, with that watermelon kick, the second time, I still don't understand it. And of course, I'm sure they're going to have some type of reason, some explanation, some analytic behind it. But it's simplified football. You understand you have 2 timeouts less. Your offense is starting to settle in. They can do whatever they want against the Cleveland's defense. Your defense is starting to get some type of momentum. You play the game for field position and make Baker Mayfield and Cleveland Browns beat you. But no, we got cute.
Exactly.
We got too damn cute.
And here's another one as we talk about situational football and everything else. There was a point in the third quarter we could have kicked a field goal, and instead we went for it and didn't get it.
Exactly.
And nobody's really talking about it. If you actually take that field goal, by the time you score that last touchdown, you're tied. And then the watermelon squib, whatever they want to call it, absolutely doesn't happen. They're going to kick it deep and play ball at that point. Greg the leg.
So, you brought in your guy, and you don't even trust him. When we had a guy named Kai Forbath who was 10 for 10 and was consistent. Cobra Kai. He was consistent, but no, you wanted to bring in your guy. Didn't even want to have a competition for it. But now you don't trust him to make a field goal. And so, yeah, man.
There's
at that point right there.
A question here, Spoon, and I'll let you answer this. A question in the group here said, could Wade Phillips improve this defense? Spoon, I'll hand that off to you.
In my opinion, he can if you do the full switch to the 3-4. He has done it before. End of the day, it's like BJ and Tuck said. We don't know what they're trying to run. Mm-hmm. It's confusing. Some stand up, some don't. It's a lot. It's bad. But when Wade Phillips is here, he's gonna commit to one scheme, the 3-4 defense, and we had him before. So if we're gonna commit to it, yeah, I see it happening. I can see him do a good job here.
Right, and then we all got bought in. Francis Bernard being brought up, nothing. We was on the Bradley and Nye train all off season, nothing. Reggie Robinson was going to be a high guy.
Yeah.
So why not give these guys? What do you have to lose?
Willie McClay's pet cat. Willie McClay's pet cat, right?
Right.
And I'm with you. It's Tuck. I wish I knew because during the game, even before it got outrageous, and I said this actually even earlier this week before we even got into this thing, I'm like, if we're going to be bad on defense, I can live with that if we're playing young guys.
Right.
I'm fine with that.
Right.
I'll live like the results today. If the Anays of the world are playing, if the Francis Bernards, the Robinsons, the Gallimores, all these guys are playing and trying to figure it out, I can live with that.
Right.
Absolutely. I can live with that.
Right.
But you're not. You're playing veterans over and over again, and you're getting the same results. And if we're confused to a certain extent, as Spoonie just talked about the defense and what they're lining up and what they're doing and what's going on. I mean that's going to transcend to the players as well.
Exactly.
Back to the and even back to the Wade Phillips thing. I mean, here's the thing. Look, Wade Phillips, I think is underneath the bridge. God bless him. It's good. Right. He's not going to come back in here. So this is some Madden talk we're doing. But what I do, here's the thing about the question that I like though is you have to die on a hill. I believe that. I fully believe that. I live my life this way. Is if you've been to the beach, right? You walk in the sand and it kind of turns you this way. I think you have to plant your foot in that sand one direction and then just go.
Right.
And at the end of the day, when it comes to this Dallas Cowboys defense, they're going to have you're going to have to put your foot in the sand 4-3, 3-4,
right,
whatever it is, and say, this is who we are,
Right.
and this is what we're going to be, and go forward no matter what the case is.
Right.
As you talked about Cobra Kai over there, right? That brings back the old Karate Kid. Mr. Miyagi and Karate Kid 1, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite movie of all time, by the way. Yeah, Mr. Miyagi told old Daniel LaRusso said, left side of the road, fine. Right side of the road, okay. Middle of the road, sooner or later, squished like, and he actually made the sound, squished like grape.
Right.
And this defense for 4 weeks has consistently been squished like a damn grape.
Hey, BJ, can you think? Can you hear the defense do one of this? Can we do some of that too?
We need somebody to go back there and we can say, all right, defense.
Yeah, there you
Close
go.
Your eyes.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
Yeah, because
it's cracking.
Listen, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Because like I said,
that's the worst when your parents used to tell you that, bro.
What's that?
When your parents used to tell you, "I'm not angry, I'm disappointed," man. That's even worse. Just be mad at me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's at the division. At the end of the day, division is tight right now, and this is why we were still in it. And then once you win the division, then it's the tournament, and that's the key thing. Hopefully, we'll be better by that time. This is why there's nobody pulling away from the Cowboys right now. Nobody's a big game lead. So, we're still in it, and our schedule in the next 4 weeks is pretty in our favors. Should be in our favors.
Yes, what I'm saying. But now looking at it, I'm like, hell, man, what makes me think after seeing what I just saw that we can go and beat the Cardinals?
Here's the thing.
Like
BJ,
nothing.
Yeah,
other than I guess Carolina beat them without Christian McCaffrey,
right.
So you think
right.
maybe you can win, but yeah, no, nothing.
Right.
Nothing
here's the thing.
Right.
Commit, like BJ said minutes ago. Commit to the scheme that you want to run. You commit to it. Let the guys play it out, and that's it. Offense is fine.
Right.
Listen, I know it's Kellen Moore running it. You know what I like about these offense is not just about scoring points. I love it going 4th and 2. It tells you how much they believe in you to get the downs. The guys are growing. Listen, with the old coaching staff, you couldn't 4th and 1 at certain times you couldn't get it. You wasn't getting there. He's giving it to you at 4th. You going for it. You know why? Because we got some playmakers out there, and I like that. And we don't have our 4 offensive linemen here as of now. We got Tyron just came back. Blau Khan's probably out for the year. Hopefully, Brandon Knight will get to start on that right side and not Terrence Steele. But Tyler Badass, he's gonna get better.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So in due time, when it's tournament time, hopefully we'll be much better. Offense, on the offense, defense, we need a lot of help. And end of the day, the management has to go out there and make a couple of moves. Yes, we got Cheeto coming back, and I hate to say this, I miss Cheeto.
Right.
I swear,
Anthony Brown.
I miss Cheeto.
Anthony Brown, bro. I'm so sorry.
I miss them.
Like, Spoon, who preaching you about Cheeto?
Nah, you did, BJ. BJ, I miss Cheeto. I miss Cheeto. It's like I don't got his number, but I want
No. Here's the real. No. Here's how about this? Let me say this for Cowboys Nation. Here's who y'all really miss. Y'all don't want to admit it, but when you lay your head down, whenever you lay your head on that pillow at night to go to sleep, you know what you really miss?
Don't say his name, please.
You miss the GOAT. Jeff Heath.
I tweeted that. I tweeted a picture of Jeff Heath, and I was like, I wonder does he still think about it?
People.
And that's the thing with Cowboys fans. What Cowboys fans did, we turned in that girl who has been by our side through thick and thin, who always did right by us. Man. We wanted something that was more sexy and glamorous, and we ended up getting burnt. Now we don't even like this chick anymore. We can't stand it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, now we're sitting in a park all by ourselves. We had at least Jeff Heath, and I always said he was limited with his athleticism and playmaking ability, but I always trust he's going to be at the right spot. Some of these plays that happen, DK Metcalf may have caught a few passes over Jeff Heath and jumped over his natural ability, but Jeff Heath would have been in the right spot.
He's going to be there.
And that's the thing. Like I said, we need
to
get Vegas on the phone and be like, hey, man, y'all want a 6 or something? Can we just get them back? You know what I'm saying? So
send it back.
Yeah, just send them back home because, like I said, I personally was a fan of Jeff Heath because I like people who's reliable. And like I've always been saying this as well. I think something that we've been hurt for this season, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Granted, he's old, he's always injured, but Sean Lee not having that wisdom back there, I feel like Jalen Smith, he's not that guy. Communication is lacking. I think if we had Sean Lee back there, just even for that aspect of an additional coach back there to get people in the right position, that will help drastically right now. So I feel like just getting healthy.
No. And look, and I told people, right. I told people last year, I'm like, whenever Heath was down for a couple of games, and I'm like, y'all miss Jeff Heath right now because his defense looked really terrible without Jeff Heath out there. And then when he came back, we kind of evened out. Aaron Johnson in the comment section said, can the defense be fixed and how? I think all of us kind of touched on that, right? We just kind of said with our Karate Kid analogy, you got to pick a scheme, Aaron. You got to pick a scheme. 4-3-3-4. Forget the multiple. You got to pick one and just stick with it and run it from there. That's the first step. Obviously, getting healthy would help as well. And I know my guys Tuck and I know my guys Spoonie. They're going to love this one. Hey. Maybe sprinkle in a signing or two.
Yeah, just a signing or two. You know
I see. Don't stop that, BJ. Who are you thinking about, BJ? Because your corners to the left or the right in the air. Who you thinking about? See, don't tease. Don't tease.
I mean, bro, it's week 4.
Let's be clear. And I get for those that just got here. I said earlier, I think the Cowboys are waiting to the trade deadline to see what they may be able to pluck, and then maybe they sign somebody. But low key, forget our analysis right now, guys. Let's put our fan caps back on real quick, Spoon and Tuck. Let's put our fan caps back on. Man, go sign Earl Thomas. I don't care if he smacks every single defensive player in the room.
Right.
I'm fine with it.
Right.
Bring him on in.
Right.
What do you got to lose?
Right. Because we are the same organization. When things got bad and we didn't have a pass rush a few years ago, we brought in Greg Hardy. So I mean, so why are we getting some morale all of a sudden right now,
Mister? I snorted cocaine and threw my girlfriend's girlfriend on a rack of guns on the couch.
Right. ET come home. Exactly. And so what do we have to lose? I don't want to sound like one of the guys in the office, but what do we have to lose if he comes in for a few weeks? And he's just a horrible person. Okay, we'll cut him and we'll move on. But to let this guy just sit at home, do absolutely nothing, as you're seeing that we definitely need some depth and some help in our secondary, it's idiotic at this point. I'm gonna hop in the chat, man. I'm sorry I haven't been reading the chat questions. You know how we do when we get with the Star Gang, man. Let's see.
And we get it. We get it in.
Yeah, we get it lit, man. We get it lit. So I got my brothers here to calm me down. I texted them during the game. I was like, bro, I'm not doing no post game. I was gonna pout. And then Dak I was like, I'm not doing no post game. I was about to pout, man. Like, screw that, man. But I was like, all right, man. Let me wash my face off and come back because the people need us, man. Texas players didn't want Earl. I heard that's what's up. With that, I'm still taking them absolutely.
I don't care what the players want.
I don't believe that either.
Care.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Offense has been putting our. We saw that one. Let's see here. Eagles won't be first in anything. They're garbage, dude. Sorry. At this point, man, like I said, my measuring stick hasn't been the division, man, but I feel like that is the one shining star the Cowboys can kind of hang on to keep us hopeful, is that our division is bad. But, man, it shouldn't even come to that. I feel like it shouldn't even come. We should be taking this division by storm right now in October and not have to worry about this in December. But it looks like
we're going to with it.
Worry about around Christmas time, or we're going to make the playoffs. Dak is passing for empty calories. Forget the stat. Nah, that's not. I'm not going to do that.
Bro, he had stats before the game got out of hand.
Right,
Stop it. He had stats before the game got out of hand. If I told anybody at half, Dak was 10-13 for 197 and 2 touchdowns, nobody would have said, well, the Browns will be up 31-14. Man, get out of here. Man, look, if y'all don't blame Dak, this ain't the chat for you. Move around.
Good question.
Here's the thing, y'all.
Oh, listen.
This is it right here. This is
that's it.
Anytime the Cowboys are armed, or every fan, the Dak haters,
that's
all they do is looking at what?
Right. That's
the whole team is Dak, right? And here's another thing. No disrespect to anybody. That's your opinion. But if you're watching the red zone, you are being robbed. Right. You are being robbed of knowledge of what now because you got to watch the whole game.
Right.
Red zone only shows the end, basically the scoring plays.
Right.
That's about it. They're not showing the whole game. We was down by 27 points in the fourth quarter. Dak Prescott got us a comeback
within 3 points.
Again, it's the team, his teammate,
right,
that put him in the situation, and it's not healthy.
Right.
It's not healthy.
Right.
So if you, I don't. Right now we're 1-3, and today I want to say yes, you paid that because at the end of the day,
Right.
look at the score.
Right.
We was down by 27 points. He brought us back.
Right.
Same like Atlanta game, but other guys got to do their job. And I like how after the game, he basically he told Mari Cooper, you can see him like, yo, you
really know shit.
that was your fault.
Right.
He
right.
told him that was your fault. And he
Right.
said it before. He said it last week during the interview. He
Right.
came out and said, listen, you know, I got to do my part, but I need the wide receivers to do theirs.
Right.
I need the offensive line to do theirs.
Right.
It's called accountability. And guess what? That's what leaders do. They
Right.
give you that accountability. Do your job. While
Right.
he's getting the blame because he's America's team quarterback.
Right.
And I know either some fans are not watching the game fully to blame that. He's bringing this team back. He's trying to carry this team. It's not easy. But a defense like the way our defense playing right now, it's not easy at all.
Right.
Not even a guy like Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady
Right.
had a defenses like this.
Right.
They
Exactly.
never did.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Shouts out to my guy Philly Notion in chat, man. And here's the thing: I'll accept
Philly Notion.
all the banter coming from teams, but not from Philly because y'all haven't proven anything either. Y'all look just as bad, if not bad. And so y'all get ready to play on prime time.
Did that football team beat them, right? They were up 17-0,
right?
And the football team beat them, right?
Right.
And the football team ain't beat nobody else, including Cleveland, right?
Right.
As soon as Philly gets on the board with a dub, they pop their cherry this year. They can speak.
Right.
Outside of that,
yeah, we're not doing
y'all tied the Bagels at home. Y'all kiss your sister.
Right.
We ain't trying to hear it.
Right. Let's see here. Stevie Mack said, "Whoever decided to start Steel overnight is for real a moron." Yeah, that's what I said, bro. Like, here's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. I mean, again, you know, in case you tuned in late, we talked about this earlier, guys. They were worried about Tyron Smith a little bit,
right.
So they kind of touched Redmond in case something happened with Tyron, they could slot him in. I don't agree with it. I don't think you guys do either. But that was their thought. At least on that, we can say we understand the thought process, whether we agree with it or not.
Right.
And if you're going to start Steel, and this is egregious, almost not as egregious as much as the Atlanta game, you know, back in the day, where
Claiborne.
Chaz Green. Chaz Green
With Adrian Claiborne.
Jesus,
but it was headed that way though. It was headed that way because Knight came in and did great. Knight came in and did solid with Garrett. You know, because like I said, Garrett was getting warmed up, man, because he was just beating Steel off the edge and all over. It was just whipping that kid. And so at least Knight was able to contain him a little bit. Now, granted, Dak had to use his legs, a few things to buy time, but you know, I feel like Knight did a solid job. That just has to be our O-line moving forward. Tyler B at center, Steel at right tackle, and let's just go forward moving.
You know, I low-key might agree with Philly Notion on this. The only time I'll ever say it, he said the Dallas defense would
lose against Clemson.
Would lose to,
Trevor Lawrence would shred us. Trevor Lawrence would shred us.
Right.
Yeah.
He might be right.
Yeah, man. All right, fellas. I'm not gonna keep y'all too.
Against some Niners, though.
I'm not gonna keep y'all too long because I know it's Sunday and all. So go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you guys at, man. I appreciate you guys coming on. But we did see CeeDee Lamb with the first touchdown. Good game for our receivers. Mari Cooper stepped up.
Doing it stuck this one. I think, but you know, as that bet goes, Tuck.
4
weeks in, my guys got more yards.
So
more
far,
catches.
man. So far, but so far, man. So far.
We're a quarter in.
Yeah, we'll
we're
get
a quarter
there.
in. You know, honey barbecue and Buffalo Mild sounds really good when we get to Cleveland. But we'll see what happens.
Right.
I mean, if you're on Twitter, man, come follow your guy Nix. It's your_guy_Nix. You can come catch us on YouTube. It's the Stargame Podcast. So me, Spoonie, Mary Ella. The Facebook group is Stargame. The Facebook page is Stargame. Like, follow, come join the whole nine. Man, Tuck, as always, man, we appreciate you. I'll tell you what, though, I ain't got nothing to do. Man, we can end this. Hold on, and take a piss break. We'll run it back on Stargame real quick.
We can do it, man. We can do it.
I bet money. Go ahead, Spoon.
We'll keep the party going.
As Spoonie, SPOONIE 881 on Twitter.
All right, guys.
As Spoonie 881.
Hey, for you guys watching the show, man, Cowboys fans only on YouTube. Comment, like, subscribe. Also follow me on Twitter at JTuck151 and Cowboys fans only.
Man, let me say something real quick.
Right,
about you real quick, if I can for the people. Let me be your spokesperson.
Go ahead. I'll sit back.
Yeah. J Tuck's amazing. This OnlyFans is amazing and whatnot, and you get great interaction the whole nine. I'm telling you now, because his alter ego, that Cabo Cowboy on Twitter, whole different beast.
Ooh, yes.
Whole different beast.
Yes,
If y'all
yes,
do
it
not
is.
follow my guy J Tuck on Twitter, you are missing out.
Bro,
I'm telling you now.
I for some reason I just sparked Cowboys fans when they were pissed off about me about the Lyle Collins trade thing this morning. Man, they were like, "How dare you?" But I was like, if we would have got rid of Lyle Collins,
I still disagree with you on that. I don't care.
look
I
how
don't
we
care.
would have
I
been.
still disagree with
So
you.
we sat here for a whole hour and talked about the defense, but we don't want to address it.
Hey,
so,
Tuck. You already know where I'm at.
Right. What did Marcus Lawrence do after his first tackle in 11 games? You know what I'm saying?
He had more than one tackle tonight. Look, he was better. Hold on. He was better than Alden Smith today for the first time.
Yeah,
Be
he
clear.
was. He did play. I mean, but that's not
For the first time.
What we paid DeMarcus Lawrence to do is what Cleveland paid Marcus Garrett to do.
I know.
You
Look, I already said this, Tuck. I don't want to hear. I know. I said it too. He's like I said. Look, he's not. I'm not saying Brandon Carr, because Brandon Carr was solid for us, but he got the $50 million. I was like, oh, he's not that worth.
Right.
And look, and I
Speaking
get it.
of which, where is he?
Oh, save it.
Oh,
Tuck.
wow, you forgot his name.
Whoa. Tuck. This is what we call in the business the teaser. Let's tuck that.
Stay
Let's
tuned
tuck that.
on
So
the
what we're going to do,
on the next episode.
We're going to take a 15-minute break here. Everybody's going to go.
I'm going to take
piss
this
a little bit.
take
do
this
what you got to
Cleveland
do.
crap off.
Maybe, yes, you can do that as well. Maybe pour something up real quick. We're going to run this back on the Star Game joint in 15 minutes. We're going to open up the phone lines if y'all want to call in, comment, question, get it off your chest. And we'll touch on Carr. Look, we didn't touch everything right now.
Right.
There's a lot for us to touch still. We'll touch on Carr and some other things as well. So, yeah, absolutely. Star Game. We're going to run it back with our guy somewhere. And thank God we can get Tuck out this damn Cleveland gear.
Yeah,
Jesus,
man. Look how they got me, though. But it's Manziel, though, man. It's Money Manziel. So,
fair. Party life, right?
Well, actually, it's not Johnny Manziel. It's Billy Manziel when he went to Vegas. He had the shades on or not. But, yeah, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. But look, before we leave, let's each give something positive. Let's end on a positive note. What can Cowboys fans be positive about when it comes to this team this season?
I mean, you want me to go first? You want to go first, Spoony?
I gotta think.
Easy.
I got it.
All right.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
The division. Listen, we have a great offense, in my opinion. I think we can score points in the division. Right now, as long as everybody loses tonight, I think we can go on cruise control the next 3 games because all division games, pretty much.
Knicks?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say cruise control because we kind of said, hey, we should win this one. But I warned everybody Tuesday, Spoon, didn't I? On the show, I said, hey, Chubb, this running game, we don't know about this running defense. We know they can get gashed. I was worried about it. I picked us to win 24-17. I thought it had to be that kind of score. It got away from us. We saw what it is. If Cowboys Nation wants to hang their hat on one thing, and look, I'm not going to go for all 4 games. I'm just going to go about today. Hey, hang your hat on Donovan Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've been preaching about him. We wanted to see him. We saw him today. He showed up approved. He did well. I think, hang your hat on that. And look, I can't give you a big broad stroke because there's not really a lot of broad stroke to go about other than Dak, which is going to spark a whole bunch of different things and whatever the case may be. So,
right.
You know what, Donovan Wilson, look, they finally benched Thompson.
Right.
And literally for the rest of the game, it was Donovan Wilson, and he walked through that door and played pretty well. So hang your cap on Donovan Wilson.
Yeah. And then what I would say, guys, and Michael just mentioned Dak Prescott, man. Like, I tweeted mid-game. Even we were still down by, like, 17, I believe. And I was like, Dak, I love you, man. Like, I just love my quarterback, man, because this guy's a gamer, man. He can really sit and fold, but you can kind of see the way he's carrying himself on the sideline. He's really just taking his team to another level of leadership, continue to fight. So I feel like as long as Dak can continue just to stay healthy and right the course, man, I feel like Dak's going to have a big season because I feel like we spoke about defense.
Having a big season.
I mean, damn. I mean, right now, if we could get a few wins, man, he might be in the MVP race. But it's going to take a lot more for him to get that. But I think the thing that I'm hopeful for is that I feel like, knock on wood, if I can find some, the defense will not be this bad all year round. Right, DeMarcus Lawrence. Not this bad all year round. Like I hope not. I hope not. Yeah. I hope some way we'll start to find our stride. If they can meet us halfway,
right?
Yeah.
It's like, and I preach this all, and I preach this leading up to the season. In our big preseason show, right before we get to week one,
Mhm.
Spoon, I said, hey, look, this offense will have to carry the defense early on because I really felt like it's a new scheme. We didn't have the traditional offseason. I felt like this defense would get better
Right.
the further the season went along. Now, that was before the injuries.
Right.
We're going to get guys back in the LVs of the world and the Cheetah Bays of the world.
Right.
Maybe we add a player. We don't know. We'll see. But it should get better. But they have to. Nolan's got to hang his hat one way or the other. He can't keep being in the middle of the road and figure it out. But
Right.
yeah, I'm with you, Tuck. I definitely co-sign you on that. Yeah, I think this defense has a chance to be better as we go along here. It can't be Monty Kiffin bad the whole entire year, right?
Entire year. So that's what I'm holding my hat on, man. I hope not, man, because if not, if our defense can just get back to what they were last year, just do that. Just do that for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get back, you know what I'm saying? Be what you were last year, and then we'll work on there. But then, yeah, like I said, the defense, they got to meet us halfway, man. But like I said, offense is explosive. I would like to see ball security, the small things that are fundamentals, which I thought Mike McCarthy was going to clean up on. That's what we heard all training camp. They're focusing on ball security and they're doing different drills, and that all sounded good. But right now, man, I'm not sure what's going on with Zeke. Even Dak gives a few fumbles a game. We have to limit those mistakes. But I feel like for a lot of Cowboys fans, especially myself, that's keeping me positive, we have yet to see a full game from both sides of the ball. And I feel like once we do, that's when we're really going to put the league on notice.
Yeah.
And it's going to be against Philly. So I appreciate you guys for coming on. Like we said, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to get out of this Browns gear, but I paid my bet. I did my job, man. And so I always
did your due diligence.
I did my due diligence, man. I'm going to take this off, man. We're going to circle back around and come on the Star game because I'm off tomorrow. So we're going to go all night, man. So I appreciate you guys for joining on.
Let's go. You already know.
You already know how we do, man. You know how I do. Appreciate you guys for signing on. Cowboys Tuck, man. Cowboys Nation, stay positive, man. We got a long season to go, a lot of football.